and welcome. It's Shanna. So glad you're here. Now, tonight I'm trying to get organized. I have gotten way out of control here with my craft supplies, not getting them organized, and I decided that I was just going to work on getting my Stampin' Dies organized, and I would just bring you along for it. So I'm just going to do that. So I ran to the restroom real quick to make sure that my hair wasn't completely out of whack and that I could actually turn on the camera. And I actually had this piece of tape stuck right there on my shoulder, and I thought, ooh, I need to take that off. So, such as the life of a craft person. Mint tape stuck to your shoulder. Anyway, so I got in a supply of the storage dies, and we're just going to talk about how I store my stamps and dies and keep them organized. So I order these online from Amazon, and they come with the envelopes that have the closures on them, and I really like those because they keep everything inside. They also come with the magnetic plates, and they come with these labels, which I don't use. Now these are, we'll go ahead and measure these just so you know what size they are. They are, these are 5.5 by looks like 7 3/8 is what they are, but this is actually smaller. It is 6 7/8 by 4 7/8. So that's the measurements on those, and I have been using these for a long time. And what I do is I use a bin, and I got started, I made the video and I realized that you couldn't see what I was doing because I was zoomed out too far. So I'm going to check and make sure you can see. So basically I use these little craft bins or storage bins, and I just put them in there, and I'll put them in there by company. So sorry for that kind of standing up in the camera there, but so let's just get started. Like I said, I started that, I was videoing, and I realized you couldn't see anything that I was doing. So I've got several of those done already, but in the meantime of doing that, I went ahead and laid down this Cat Scrappiness Kissing Booth craft die, which I've actually got on the wrong side, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to bring it in. Now, I've on a couple of different design teams. Sorry for the noise. I should have pulled these apart. And so it's kind of gotten away from me. I've been busy filming and doing different things, and I've not been organizing as I go. And so it has gotten away from me, and I'm finding that I'm struggling to find what I need. I'm looking for pieces and I can't locate them, and so I've got to get organized. So that's what I'm going to do tonight, is just try and get organized and get these things put away. I'll put them in the bin with all of the Cat Scrappiness stuff because I'm going to keep it all together. And hopefully I can get all these to fit on here. So this is going to be a little bit tight. We'll go like that, and we'll get it on there. And then these, I'm actually going to save, just in case I would happen to need to film with the business name on there. I'll keep these in a separate area so that I can keep track of them. Hopefully I won't need them, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'll slide it in this way since I put this on upside down, but basically I'll put them in there, and then I'll close them, and then it'll be good storage. So that one's backwards. I'll straighten it up later, but let's move on to the next one. So I've got several things ready, and my chair is squeaky, so I apologize for that. And I'm just going to get these ready. This is the 3D box craft die, and I just did a video with it. I'll save these. I put them in a bin that says acetate, and then I'll get this laid down on here, and then I'll show you what I do. And this is just 3 pieces, so this is fairly simple. And then we'll open this up. This is how I normally put them on. That other one, I actually stuck it on backwards when I was making the other video. And I've made several labels. I just used my label maker, which I have ran out of the paper that goes in there, so I'm going to have to get some more because I made so many labels here because I need to get these taken care of. And I'll just take the company name and pull it off, and then I just put them, what I do is I just put them in this upper right hand corner. I'll have the company name, and then I will have the product name. And it's real important that I get it correct so that I can refer to the product when I'm making my video, so that I say it correctly. And I'll give you an example. I have two dies here that I'd labeled when I was making the first video and it didn't work. And they look very similar. This one is the fancy stitched rectangle, and this is the stitched scallop rectangle. I had it in the wrong order, so I cut it apart and put it on there. But they're so close. The difference, if you look in between on the corners, there's a little extra bit there. And so I need to have these labeled correctly so that when I grab them, I use the right name when I'm referring to them in my videos. So that's very important, and that's why I do it the way I do it. Now I've got I'm putting them by company. So I've got Spellbinders, Pink and Maine, you know, all the different companies. And I'm trying to get this cat scrappiness stuff organized now. So I'm just going to keep kind of moving along on here. Now you saw me make a card with this Love You to the Moon craft dies. And I'm going to get it laid down on there as well. And this has the shadow die. Get it on there. We've got the moon. We've got the crescent moon. And then we've got the stars. And I'm just, if there's any sticky on there or whatever, I'm just going to peel it off because I don't want that to get stuck on my plates for my machine. And I'm just going to pull it in and get it in there and get it labeled up. So these are really nice. I buy them on Amazon. I'll link them in the description box below so you can check them out. But they're fairly inexpensive and they seem to hold up fairly well. So I like them, and I've kind of stuck to them. I've been reordering as I need them, just so that I can stay organized. And that's my chair just squeaking away, so I apologize for that. And this is Love You to the Moon. And I'm real careful to get the right one. I know I cut this one out, so I'm trying to find it. Here it is, Love You to the Moon. And I wrote craft on there because Cat Scrappiness has the word craft in their names for their dies. So it'll say Love You to the Moon craft die is what it'll say. So I put the craft on there just to remind me to say that, because I wouldn't normally just say craft die. So I put that on there so I remember to say it, and then I've got that. So what I'm going to do is I just bring them in, and I'm going to put them in these that we just did in this bin, and you know, I'm just going to fill this bin up with the dies, and then I'll label it with the Cat Scrappiness on the outside. And I store these on my craft cart so that I can just grab them and get the ones that I need. Now, I did show you the nesting dies, and I'm just going to show you these nesting dies. That's the backwards one, but I normally would store my nesting dies on, I've got this little rack here. And this is just a little rack that sits beside my die cutting machine, and I usually keep all of my nesting dies in this. You can see I've got the Spellbinders A2 Matting Basics in there, and it's yellowed and it's kind of torn up because I've had it for a long time, but I normally keep all the nesting dies right there because these are my go-to ones that I use all the time. And so I keep them real handy right there by my die cutting machine so I can just grab them and get them and go. But that seems to work for me. I also keep my plates. I've got my glimmer plates here. I've got my die cutting machine plates, my shims. I've even got the scrapbook.com sticky mat here. So I just kind of keep them in this little holder, which has got like, I guess, you know, it's got two divided areas, a front and a back, and then the middle. And it has wood on the bottom, and it just sits there very nicely beside my die cutting machine. It helps me stay organized. So I just wanted to pop on real quick. Let me put this back. And just kind of show you how I, you know, organize my dies. And I actually do my stamps too. I should do a stamp. Do I have a stamp in here? Yeah, I've got these. So let's just do this. And I will do my stamps the same way. I just need to find the die that goes, matching die that goes with it. So let's go ahead and do it real quick, and I'll show you because how I do those, and then we'll wrap it up. So it's really just a quick video. But this one would be, of course, I want to get my cat scrappiness on there. And, you know, I'm just working with this company tonight. I have some other companies that I've got to get organized as well, but I had put all of these together. I need to quit moving on this chair because it just keeps squeaking. So this is the Simple Sentiments Valentine and then the Simple Sentiments die. So I've got 2 of these right here, and I'm going to bring in my scissors and just cut them apart. And this is where I ran out. So I don't need both of these because I'm going to store them together. But this is where I ran out. But I'm going to put just the Simple Sentiments in here. And then I'll put the stamp and the die. And for when I have the stamp and the die, I've actually got a tag that says stamp and die, and that way I know that I'm keeping them in there together. And my heater just kicked on, so I apologize for that as well. Okay, so I'm just going to get them, and I'll just take my die right out of here. And I'll tell you, these Simple Sentiments are awesome. I did a video on it recently, and if you want to have some sentiments die cut out real quickly, oh my gosh, this is it. Because this is a single stamp, and then you just die cut everything out at once, and it is awesome. So what I would do is I would just put this in here like this, and generally when I have the stamp and die, I don't know where the backer sheet to that is, I would put the die in, or the stamp in there like that, and then I would flip the die over on the back side, and I would just keep them in there together. And that's how I do my stamp and die sets. And I'll just keep these, and we'll get this put away. So that's how I do my stamp and dies. Now I also have one in which I've got a die and a stencil, and I would do the same thing with it as I did with this. I would just put that up. I would just grab this die, and this, you really wouldn't have to have the magnetic sheet for it. Let me clean this up because it's just a solid die. But just for my purposes, I'll put it on there, and then my stencil, I'll just pull it out. And when you're storing them like this and you're doing videos and you're on camera, you don't have all that noise of pulling that plastic apart on your videos. You can just pull these out, slide these in and out very nicely, and store them right like that. So that's what I'm doing. And I've got cat scrappiness, and this particular die set has, I think it has a long name, so let me look for it here real quick. It does. It has the large Cubert quilt background, and I think I did stencil too. So let me look. Let me get this laid down on here. And then I think I've got a stencil. Yes. And then I would put stencil on here, and then I know that when I put the Cubert up, I put the stencil right with it. And that just keeps everything nice and organized. So I hope this was helpful for you. I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for watching. Get crafting and get organized. Thanks. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.